Great, I just talked for 10 minutes and didn't even realize I wasn't recording. Hello, my name's Deka. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Please pedal in. Today, I thought I'd give you a lesson, a lecture, if you will. I will be educating the people of the internet on how not to handle doing something stupid. You see, I sparked a 2-year long feud in between two friends of mine. Now, you see, this happened in gym class, and gym is not my strongest subject, Get tired very easily. As you can probably tell by the fact that I randomly drink water during my videos, I get dehydrated very easily. So I was constantly racing in and out to get water. And my gym teacher told me that I had 10 seconds to fill up my entire water bottle, and I was allowed to carry that around for the rest of class if I just stopped, you know, getting water every 5 minutes. Now, this was a sweet deal considering water bottles weren't allowed in gym class, well, at least not outside the locker room. So it was a pretty big deal. So yeah, I rushed in and he said I only had 10 seconds and he was counting from outside the locker room. He wasn't allowed in. So as I was running, I knocked over a pair of jeans into a puddle. You see, this gym, this locker room, it was all in a basement, and that basement was constantly flooding. So of course there was this pile of water, this puddle in the middle of the floor. And I didn't know whose jeans those were. I just kept running. I got my water bottle, came back out, and yeah, I sat down. But you see, I was the only one who was sent in there. There were a couple others who had a similar habit of asking for water. But here's the thing. Those pants, they belong to a friend of mine, and this friend of mine is very confrontational. Got little man's disease, very short, kind of chubby, not very intimidating, but very confrontational. Like that little short man who was raging in the middle of a donut shop. That video that went semi-viral, yeah? Who claimed that women in general were evil and all that. That's pretty much him. Now, this guy, the moment he finds out what happened to his pants, because he had to go to the bathroom, so he ran into that locker room. They were all connected, the bathroom, the locker room, the gym. And he saw what had happened, and he started raging, the little man's disease. And he was trying to figure out who it was. Now, his first suspect, if you will, was this one dude. He was very strange. He threatened to shoot up the school once. He carried a knife with him everywhere he went. He saw himself as some sort of genius. He would always cite Filthy Frank like he was some sort of deity. And overall, he's pretty much the embodiment of everything you can dislike in a person, simultaneously a social justice warrior, simultaneously not. He's just a massive hypocrite whose only goal in life seemed to be disagreeing with everyone he could disagree with. And of course, two people that are that similar will butt heads, trying to one up each other and who has the worst case of little man's disease. Now, you see, here's the thing. I was kind of afraid of this dude. I know, short, chubby, but still, you never know what little man's disease can do to a person, and I was very afraid that he'd beat the shit out of me somehow. You never know, dopamine going through your brain, crazy stuff will happen. Now, these two start arguing, and we're all actually kind of happy because they spend the entirety of gym class just arguing with other people. Now they had each other to butt heads with. But you see, they were both insanely petty. So they never actually stopped. And you know what happens when people who are extremely petty never stop arguing? They project this anger onto other people as well. So now it just kind of became those two fighting and simultaneously wanting to be the center of attention. Now, at this point, we were past the point where I could admit this. I know, it's very morally dubious, but I was kind of afraid for my life here because now I wouldn't just have the man with little man's disease on my back. I would have a violent dude who carried around a knife with little man disease on my back. And at that point, I just decided, screw it. I'm just gonna stay out of this. And it just got to a point where we were past the pants thing. That was just that they deeply, deeply hated each other. And it came to a climax the day they had a fist fight in the locker room. Now, of course, chubby guy with little man's disease versus not chubby guy with little man's disease, not chubby guy won. However, chubby guy hit the floor and ended up, pretty much shaking the entire ground. So gym teacher runs in, although that it wasn't allowed, and he starts berating everyone for what happened, and he lets me go because he kind of suspected that someone as skinny as me wouldn't be able to knock that dude down. You know, I'm not very strong. I lied in the beginning. I'm very weak. Now, here's the thing about this feud. This was the climax, but only because of the consequences. You see, it ended up resulting in both of their parents being called into the school and them having to sort it out. Now, of course, at this point, it just kind of became a thing that you had to separate these two at all times. And I feel like partially, well, actually, no, this was completely my fault. However, um, I never admitted it. I never told anyone about this. I knew it was gonna happen, but I knew that it was for the better, aka my own safety, aka me not having to buy an extra lock on my house. Um, to just not tell anyone. Because you see, these two never actually went out of their way to harm each other physically, aside from that one time. And the guy who got knocked over, he didn't get hurt whatsoever. So pretty much after that, they weren't getting into physical altercations anymore, but they just kept arguing with each other, and it was more or less just kind of petty arguing from that day on. But eventually, the one guy, the guy who knocked the chubby guy over, the not chubby guy, yeah, he left the school. And I still didn't admit it, you know, things were all peaceful. Balance was restored to the universe. But I still didn't admit it. For whatever reason, I decided that doing that would be the death of me. But then one day, we were asked in English class, I think it was, to tell stories about our teachers, just weird, bizarre situations. And we got into the topic of gym class, and someone brought up this feud. And then I finally just confessed, oh yeah, that was me. I was the one who knocked those pants over on accident. And pretty much, this was in an online call, but I swear, if it hadn't been, someone would have probably hit me with a chair. Uh, Everyone just stops, stares at me, is like, so you were the mastermind all along, huh? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I accidentally knocked his pants into a puddle, and this resulted in all-out war. However, despite this, people seemingly aren't mad at me, at least not anymore. I feel like the statute of limitations for sparking a 2-year-long war has finally expired. Now, did I do the right thing? No, of course not. It was pretty stupid to just not tell anyone. But I will have to say, it was probably for the better, at least for entertainment's sake, because holy crap, gym class was so much more wild after that. I know, I sound like a fucking sociopath, but I do feel guilty. Partially. Because in the end, it was just these two petty ass people projecting their pettiness onto each other. And really, I mean, the dude's pants were only partially wet, like on the end. On the. Around the ankles, it was in the middle of summer. There was no reason for this massive argument to start. It was just pettiness. You know? So really, yes, it was not morally correct of me. At the same time, these weren't exactly the best people. So it was more a combination of A bad person does something bad to two bad people on accident. You know? Okay, that's about it for me justifying myself for today. See y'all next time.